up! We found drugs here!
This is a setup. Federal court will see.
How about now?
In the quiet suburbs of Cleveland, Ohio, where maple trees lined the streets and families gathered for backyard barbecues on weekends, a single gunshot-like crack shattered the night at 2 a.m. The front door of a modest two-story home on Elmwood Avenue splintered under the force of a battering ram. 3 officers from the Cleveland Metro Police Department burst inside, their flashlights slicing through the darkness like accusatory fingers. Leading the charge was Detective Harlan Reed, a grizzled veteran with a reputation for getting results no matter the cost. Behind him came Sergeant Victor Kane, his hand steady on his service weapon, and Captain Marcus Hale, overseeing the operation with a detached authority honed from years on the force. Upstairs, Evelyn Thompson jolted awake in her bed, her heart pounding as the sheets twisted around her legs. She was clad only in a simple nightshirt and shorts, vulnerable in the sudden glare of the beams. "Hands where we can see them," Reed barked, his voice echoing off the walls. Evelyn raised her palms slowly, her eyes narrowing as they adjusted to the intrusion. The officers tore through her bedroom with ruthless efficiency, drawers yanked open, clothes flung aside, books scattered across the floor. But then Reed's flashlight beam caught something on the wall, a dark blue windbreaker hanging neatly, emblazoned with bold yellow letters spelling out FBI. The light lingered there for a tense moment, and a hush fell over the room. Kane's breath hitched, and Hale shifted uncomfortably in the doorway. Yet, they pressed on, unwilling or unable to back down now. Evelyn watched them with an unnerving calm, her mind already cataloging every detail. The time glowing red on her alarm clock, 2:03 a.m., the badge numbers glinting under the lights, the rough way Kane rifled through her dresser. Most people in her position would scream or beg, but Evelyn was different. She had spent years in high-stakes situations, and this was just another chapter in a long, deliberate plan. As Reed rummaged through her nightstand purse, his fingers deftly slipped a small plastic bag of white powder into a side pocket before discovering it with feigned surprise. "Well, look at this," he announced triumphantly, holding it up to the light. Evelyn's lips twitched in the faintest of smiles. She knew exactly what was happening, and more importantly, so did the hidden digital recorder tucked inside her bedside lamp, capturing every illicit move. Her federal badge wallet lay in plain view on the dresser, overlooked in their haste. On the nightstand, her encrypted work phone charged silently, holding a decade and a half of sensitive case files. Evelyn's fingers brushed the edge of her bedsheet, under which lay something else they had misseed, a secondary recording device. This wasn't a random raid. It was the culmination of months of whispers and suspicions. Evelyn had been waiting for them to slip up, and tonight, they had walked right into her trap. As Kane moved to her closet, his hands trembling just slightly, Evelyn sat up straighter. "I need to see your warrant," she said, her voice steady and commanding, cutting through the tension like a knife. Reed snorted. "We don't need one for a disturbance call, lady." But Evelyn wasn't deterred. "You do for a search this invasive. You've gone way beyond any reasonable scope for a simple noise complaint." Her words carried the weight of someone who knew the law inside out, making Kane pause mid-search. Hale stepped forward from the shadows. "Ma'am, we got reports of suspicious activity here, possible narcotics." "From who?" Evelyn pressed. "What probable cause justified breaking down my door?" The 3 men exchanged uneasy glances. "Anonymous tip," Kane muttered finally. "Said you were involved in dealing." Evelyn shook her head slowly. "Anonymous tips don't authorize warrantless entries into private homes. That's basic Fourth Amendment, Katz v. United States, Peyton v. New York." Reed's face reddened. "You a lawyer or something?" "I know my rights," she replied evenly. "This is an unlawful search and seizure." The room grew thicker with unease. Hale cleared his throat. "Let's wrap this up and get her downtown." But Evelyn wasn't done. "I need your badge numbers. All of you." Reed's hand instinctively covered his badge, but under her unwavering gaze, they reluctantly provided them. She repeated each one back, committing them to memory with precision. "I also need confirmation your body cams are rolling," she added. Kane tapped his chest, where a red light blinked. "They're on." "Good," Evelyn said coolly. "So when this hits federal court, there'll be a full record." The word federal hung in the air like a storm cloud, making Reed lean in closer. Listen, we found drugs here. You can make this easy or hard. Is that a threat? She asked, her tone unflinching. I'm offering choices, he growled. The silence stretched, broken only by the crackle of their radios. Finally, Reed snapped on the handcuffs. You're under arrest for possession with intent. As the cold metal bit into her wrists, Evelyn spoke clearly toward the cameras. This is a false arrest based on fabricated evidence. No warrant, no consent, clear violations. Kane grabbed her arm roughly, pulling her toward the door. Move. She complied, but kept documenting aloud. I'm requesting counsel, a supervisor, an immediate review of the footage. Her knowledge was too sharp, too insider-like for a civilian. Hale studied her as they marched through the trashed living room, where family photos lay shattered on the floor, reminders of her life as a devoted aunt and community volunteer in Cleveland's tight-knit neighborhoods. Something felt off, but they pushed ahead, bundling her into the patrol car. In the back seat, Evelyn used the window reflection to observe them. Kane turned around. Gonna tell us what you really do? Silence. Reed adjusted the mirror. We'll find out soon enough. Their whispers carried. Think she knows about the ops? Nah, but something's weird. Evelyn memorized it all. The drive to the central precinct felt eternal, the city lights blurring past familiar landmarks like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in the Distancia, stark contrast to the corruption unfolding. At the station, under buzzing fluorescence, the booking sergeant looked up. What we got? Coke possession, resisting, Reed said. Evelyn interjected. I didn't resist. The sergeant frowned at her poise. Processing began. Prints, photos, inventory. When they hit her wallet, the sergeant paused. Says here you work for the FedSum admin role? Reed froze. Run it deep. The computer word then flashed a red flag. Evelyn Thompson, FBI special agent, 15-year veteran, assigned to the Integrity Division investigating public corruption. Reed's face drained of color. Meanwhile, in the equipment room, Officer Laura Benson reviewed the body cam footage, her stomach churning as she saw Reed plant the drugs. Whispers of department misconduct had circulated for years, false arrests in low-income neighborhoods, evidence tampering to boost stats, but this was proof. Benson ran Evelyn's name. FBI agent targeting their unit. Her hands shook as she dialed the FBI hotline. This is Officer Benson, Cleveland Metro. We've got a federal agent in custody, looks intentional. The line went live with urgency. Keep her safe. Team's en route. Back in holding, Reed entered the interview room, slamming a file down. Let's talk about your little side hustle. Evelyn eyed the camera's red light. Planted evidence won't hold. He leaned in. We have witnesses. Name them. His pause betrayed him. Benson slipped in later with water, passing a note. FBI alerted. Hold on. Relief flickered in Evelyn's eyes. FBI Assistant Director Thomas Grant got the call at home, bolting upright. Evelyn was his top operative, undercover for 18 months in Cleveland, building Operation Integrity against the department's systemic rot. Her beacon activated life-threatening protocol. Grant mobilized, tactical teams, warrants ready. Surveillance vans positioned outside the precinct, intercepting panic chatter, wiped the cams. But Benson had already uploaded everything to federal servers. Inside, Captain Hale paced. You idiots arrested our investigator. Reed denied it, but the file on Hale's desk leaked federal docs confirmed it. Evelyn had documented hundreds of violations, planted drugs in black communities, illegal stops near public housing, rights trampled for quotas. At dawn, black SUVs encircled the precinct. Grant led the charge. FBI, stand down. Agents swarmed, arresting Hale, Reed, and Kane for conspiracy, tampering, rights violations. Evelyn entered in her FBI jacket, badge gleaming. Operation Integrity, 2,000 hours surveillance, 300 recordings, 67 plantings. The station fell silent as she listed charges. Reed slumped. We were just doing the job. No, Evelyn said. You were breaking the law. 6 months later, in federal court downtown Cleveland, the trial gripped the nation. Evelyn's evidence stacks of files exposed decades of abuse. Jurors gasped at footage. Verdicts, guilty across the board. Reed got 20 years, Kane 12, Hale 15. Reforms followed, mandatory cams, oversight boards, community training. Evelyn drove away, accepting a new case on detention centers. Justice prevailed, one patient step at a time. What do you think about the themes of violence and injustice in this story? Share your opinions in the comments below. Do you believe such corruption is widespread or isolated? Take a stand and let me know your views. Your thoughts could spark important discussions.